Hips up, back down. Back down. Bring both legs. Okay, so then you can look at the malleolus. Relax. Okay, on her, she's actually quite good. The left one, tiny bit slightly anterior, but it's not really. Yeah, yeah. But if the left one was longer, yeah, then it might well be the left side has gone anterior on that side. But because they're almost level, then you're not going to get much discrepancies in here. Okay, obviously there could be other things because weirdly you can have a anterior rotation with an upslip. So actually the malleolus looks level, even though it's gone up and forward. Yeah, that sort of thing. So it can be indicative of something here. If the patient was to sit up from here, sit up, and then the leg length changes, which it doesn't really, looks a little longer on that one, and then lay back down, again. Sometimes what happens is, the most common presentation is that the right side is anterior, so when you're laying down, the right leg is slightly longer. But when you sit up, the right leg now becomes the shorter leg, so they shift. So it tells you have a rotation in the pelvis. If the right leg stays long on both tests, it might be a true long leg, yeah, on that side. If the right leg is long and then you sit up and now it's short, then it might be indicative of a rotation of the pelvis, yeah, rather than a leg length discrepancy as such. Nothing really happens that much on you.
I've got a massive shed.
Well, I wouldn't use that word.
But this oblique was squashed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm waiting for you to figure it out Friday.
Yeah, well, we'll do it. We'll spend more time on it on Friday. But if I'm looking at you, yeah, I'm going to say this one is slightly more forward, this one's slightly more back for now. Yeah, so because we're not going to manipulate as such, we're going to mobilise. But we'd have to check the hips as well because any pain in the back SI joint could be coming from the hip joints. So I'd always screen the hips, yeah, when I'm looking at corrections of the pelvis. Have a lie on your side, head this way.
Which side?
Left side, facing me. Head this way.
Left side.
Right side. That's it, I'll do. So we're going to correct this right side. That would be one of the most common presentations. Come towards me a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not even thinking of it. Right. So from here, we're not going to force anything anyway. So what we're going to do is just initiate a rotation on this side. To be honest, there's nothing wrong with mobilising both innominates. Yeah, rotate them anterior, rotate them posterior. And that's okay because we're not forcing the new position, we just mobilise it. So what we're going to try to do is bring this one back slightly. So if we bring the knee up towards 90 degrees, we can feel where the innominate starts to rotate there. Now what we're going to do is feel the PSIS, you and knee, push into knee please. So she is pushing using the glute and the hamstring for 10 seconds. And after the 10 seconds, relax, 20% effort of push, relax, take a breath. Hand onto the ASIS, and then I'm just going to start to mobilise the innominate going posterior. This is also good to open the facet joint. Okay, it also lengthens the erector spinal muscles in here as well. So then by doing this movement, we are just encouraging posterior innominate motion. This is the way I tend to do it. My hand on the ASIS and I mobilise. We can cradle and mobilise it this way. You okay?
Yeah, it's just pinchy.
Where's the pinch? In the hip?
Yeah, it's just my hips. I like that.
Yeah, okay. Well, if it's catching in a hip joint, what that means is you might be catching the labrum, yeah, within the hip area. That's what I mean. Sometimes when you have things going on, we'll know on Friday, Saturday, yeah, where the hips are involved. And the hips are involved, it normally gives you pain perceptions, if you like, in your back. And everything's a back SI problem, but it's not as a problem with the hip. Okay, but it just manifests itself into your SI joints. And that might be the case with you, maybe. Okay, but we'll discuss that. So if it does catch in this angle, ease off, yeah, so say, and then I can maybe mobilise it this one. It might be easier, it might not.
It's alright.
Okay, so I can mobilise it this way. If I go too far forward, you already heard that it catches a little bit. Okay, so then that gives me an idea, you know, is it maybe in the hip in itself. So this was the way I would do it. So the knee, you push against me, 10 seconds. After the 10 seconds, the muscles relax, breathe in. And then we are simply bringing the pelvis posterior. Okay, so that's the idea of it. Now you can lock and you can thrust, but I'm not going to thrust here. So we can lock and thrust if you wanted to. You don't tend to cavitate in this particular technique, but there will be one I'll show you shortly where we will perform a cavitation. So that will be bringing it back because it's gone forward. Now if you lie on your front, So for instance, if we said that the right side has gone forward and the left side has come back, then we want to bring the left side forward. So this would be a technique if you push down into the couch. So this is just correcting, you know, what you do on the right, you do on the compensatory side on the left, relax. So from here, I'm going to bring your leg towards me and I'm going to just gently mobilize. You're normally going forward. Again, some osteopaths will lock you and they can thrust. Yeah, but it's not something I do, mainly because the extension of the spine. So when I thrust, sometimes you might go too far in extension. You can put a pillow to flatten the back. The PSIS, I'm going more anteriorly, so I'm literally just mobilizing the innominate going forward. And this will be fine to do, yeah, with any type of pelvic dysfunction really, because you were just gently mobilizing into anterior posterior rotation. And that would be okay. You know, if you've got pain in this area, maybe just mobilize the two innominates, mobilize the hips, and you probably find pain in here will probably settle down, as long as you're not extending the spine too much. So that'll be to correct anterior and the posterior. Then we'll do, so have a go at that one first, and then we'll do the down slip as if to pull the leg, and that's probably one of my favourite techniques. And then we do the symphysis pubis. You okay? Mm-hmm. Good?